So it's finally happened. My boy Brahim Diaz, one of my favourite academy players in recent years, has left for Real Madrid for an initial fee of 15.5 million. It could rise to around 20 million with add-ons allegedly, and we'll get a 15% fee, a sell-on fee if he does move on, and then a 40% sell-on fee if he goes to United, weirdly. And he's gone, and I'm absolutely gutted if I'm being honest, because I really like Brahim as a player. I think he's fantastic, a huge talent, and one that could come back to bite us Sancho style if we're unlucky. But he has gone, and I'm going to accept it. I'm going to move it. My initial reaction to this was, it's been coming for a long time. I think we all knew it was going to happen. We all understood it was going to happen. And in general, we've got a decent enough fee. It could be a fee that pales in significance eventually. He's only got 6 months in his contract though, so if you get around 20 million for him in the end eventually, well, it's not been too bad. But if we do get the 20 million, it's because he's played for Real Madrid. That means he's worth a lot more than that. So, yeah. But it's not too bad when you look at the fact that Solanke's gone to 19 million for Bournemouth, and Brahim has had probably about the same amount of game time, if we're being honest. It's not too bad a fee, but still I do wonder what could have been. Now a lot of people will point to Brahim's last outing in the Cup where he played pretty badly, if we're being honest, and say, well, he wasn't that good anyway, like they all weren't excited about him a few months earlier. It's not quite as simple as that. People will say he's nowhere near the development stage of Phil Foden, and do you know what? I actually agree, and do you know why that is? It's because Foden's had about 3 times the minutes that Brahim has. Now if Brahim had the same game time Foden have got, I don't care if you think he should have earned it or not. If he'd had that game time, I'm sure he would have been involved and a lot more comfortable in the squad. In general, would have felt more at home in the first team environment. But he didn't get it. So when he did come on after no football in barely ages, because he never played for the EDS, he usually just sat in the first team training ground. So when he finally got a sniff of some competitive football, well, guess what? He looked a bit rusty. It took him a while to settle down to games. He was trying too hard to impress, trying too hard to do everything himself. It takes a while to get comfortable. You only have to look how long it took for Phil Foden to finally look comfortable starting games with City, and imagine Brahim's about 3 times as many games behind that. It was never going to happen for him with that limited game time. Now I'm not going to say Pep should have played him more. I think maybe he could have, but that's up for you to decide. What I'm saying is definitely didn't get enough game time, in my personal opinion, to decide whether he was good enough for Manchester City. Now the fact that Real Madrid have come from him says it all really. He is that highly rated over in Spain. He does have that level of potential. He is a fantastically gifted young player, one who could go to the very top. And people are saying, why has he gone to Real Madrid? Why doesn't he just sign a contract with Manchester City and go out on loan? Now, if you sign a contract with Manchester City and go on loan, you're probably never going to play for the first team again. We've loaned out so many fantastic young players. They've done well on loan, and they've never got to go in the first team anyway. Look at Roberts, look at Denaya, look at Maffeo, look at Angelino. Loads of players that maybe could have gone a bit of a go, but never really got a shot at it. Whether you think they deserved it or not, it doesn't really matter. Once again, it didn't really happen. So there's no precedent either way for young players getting a chance on loan. And why should he be the one to try and change that? Maybe he thinks, you know what, I can go somewhere where they actually do get a chance. Now you might think, Real Madrid, really? They're the team that gives players a go on loan? Actually, they actually do. They've only got to look at the likes of Casemiro or Asensio, players they got in young and cheap, and then they load them out again a little bit, and then they brought them back into the first team squad. And in general, they've got a good record of getting players in from the academy as well, loading them out for a little bit, put them in the B team, but then eventually integrating them, like Vasquez or Carvajal or Llorente or Nacho or Mariano Diaz. All these players have been involved in academies or loans at some point and eventually got the chance because they've earned it. Now obviously as well, they've got a B team over there, so even if he doesn't play for the next 6 months, he's going to play for the B team or the Castilla team, as they call it, and actually get some football, some competitive football in a competitive league. At the moment, he's sat doing nothing, absolutely nothing, and that isn't good for his development at all. I really do hope that they give a good look at him. I think they actually will. I think given the fact the squad at the moment and the form isn't that great, Bale's older, Benzema's older, Ronaldo's gone, and they're looking at the next generation, the likes of Vinicius Jr. and so on, there is a potential shot there for him to actually get some game time. They're not going to win the league this season, and he's got 6 months to really have a go at it, and I think they'll actually play him. I think they'll announce him, I think they'll give him some games, and if he doesn't quite make it yet, they'll loan him out to a big club in Spain somewhere, to like, I don't know, Valencia or something like that, or Sevilla. They have the connections in Spain to loan these players, and they get better loans for their players than we do for ours, if we're being totally honest. So Real Madrid have a precedent of loaning players out after looking at them first or giving them B team football and then bringing it back if they play well on loan. So essentially for Brahim, it's actually a better situation than it is now. Now I don't blame Pep for not always playing him, because it's the whole, you know, how much game time can we really give to youngsters? I mean personally, I think you can manage it sometimes, but It's happened. It has happened. He isn't happy and he's left. So I'm gutted, genuinely gutted, but I do wish him well. Now, I've met Brahim a few times, just at academy games and so on. His family are lovely. He's a lovely lad. Genuinely, he's got a bit of a Manc accent. He's been here since he was 14. He cares for this club. He genuinely does. And he wanted to stay and be a success. He really did. But sometimes you've got to look after your own career. He's 19 now. He's given it a crack and he didn't get the game time that he needs. And why should he just blindly have faith in this? I don't blame him at all. It's a great club with a great manager. We're a fantastic place to be at, understandably, but he's got his own career to look after there, and I don't blame him at all. As far as I'm concerned, he goes with our blessing as fans. He should go with our blessing as fans. I'm only speaking for myself, of course, but he's a fantastic player and one that genuinely does care for this club. So fingers crossed Brahim does really well in his career. It could come back to haunt us, and I'll be very frustrated if it was, because he's a fantastic young player. At some point, we're going to realise maybe the grass isn't always green on the other side and we don't need to spend 60 million. In fact, we can probably just start trying to give some of these young players the chance to be fourth choice winger instead. That's my personal take on it, because it's bitten us now with Sancho and he could buy us with Brahim Diaz. Football isn't perfect, I'm aware of that, and also I'm not going to complain, because in general we're a fantastic team to watch and I'm very happy, but I still think it can be a little bit better on that front. I think we'd all probably agree with that, and I think even Guardiola would love to see it. I think in general that the club are aware of the development gap, as they call it. Soriano was talking the other day to the media over, I don't know where he was at some conference, and he was saying how English football has this problem with a development gap. Essentially, we don't have B teams like they have over, obviously, in Germany, and they have it over in Spain as well, where players can get a competitive football when they're younger. That isn't going to change anytime soon. We've tried it obviously with the loans in various clubs, but they've been hit and miss. Now, until we solve that problem, I don't really know what we're going to do, but we're going to have to try and find a way to solve it ourselves. In my opinion, in easy home games, we can have an extra young player on the bench and get him on if we're 2-3-0 up towards the end. Just do it. Give a senior player a rest, because we don't always need 7 substitutes of high first team quality. Just 5's enough. Have a couple of academy lads on the bench, in my personal opinion. It isn't going to happen, I'm a realist. But anyway, Brahim has gone to Real Madrid, and I hope and wish him all the best in the world. Genuinely, I hope he does brilliantly there, because Brahim is a fantastic player. He deserves our respect. Good luck, Brahim. Let us know in the comments below what you think of Brahim's departure and how you think he'll do over at Real Madrid. Anyway, guys, I've been Stephen. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Go and check out my new channel as well, which will be on screen somewhere around now. Give it a subscribe. Anyway, see you later.